You're new to the Medela Motion InBra wearable breast pump and wondering how to use it, then stick around. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all the different components, the setup, as well as how to use the Medela Motion. So let's get started, have a quick look at the different components. Now, one of the things I love about this pump is there are only 4 parts to it. This is a super simple, easy to use pump. You have your collection cup. This is where all your milk pools during your pumping session. You have your pump motor. So this is your operational panel, as well as what creates and drives your suction. You have your flange. So your flange tunnel, and at the back is your linker, and then you have your yellow diaphragm. So how does this all go back together? We are going to take our flange. Now we want to attach the diaphragm to the base where this linker is. It sits on top with the flap coming out, and we want to make sure we push down nice and firmly all the way around. Really important with our breast pumps that we don't have any little parts where the seal isn't sealed properly. That leads to air leaks, which will lead to loss of suction, also potentially milk spills. So make sure you double check and you push down nice and firm. Then we're going to want to gently pull on this tab and lift it over the little latch hook here. Push down, make sure again that is nice and in place. Now you'll see here that it does have a little flap. This is your valve, so this is what stops your milk pushing out back into the open end of your flange. It helps to drive your breast milk into your collection container. So we then want to attach our collection container. Now one of the parts here on top, you see that you have a pouring spout. There is a little part of your flange that you need to lift up over to get this in nice and alignment, and then we simply just push down nice and firm around until you hear a bit of a clicking sound. Again, run your fingers around, make sure it's nice and in place, and then we can simply attach your pump motor. It simply pushes on. Again, just give it a little jiggle, make sure it's nice and secure. All right, then we are ready to pump. Just a couple of things to keep in mind beforehand. One, you want to make sure that your pump parts are clean and sterilized at least once a day with the sterilizing before you're using your pump. You then want to make sure that you also have the correct flange size. Now this is a 24mm flange that came with my pump. I highly recommend that you get yourself a nipple ruler or a flange nipple measuring tool and measure your nipples to make sure you have the correct size. Now this is something important to just do regularly throughout your pumping journey, because the further you are postpartum, the smaller your nipple size actually gets. And this is really important because it can cause friction while you're pumping. It can impact your milk output. It can cause damage or be painful. So we want to make sure we have the right flange size before we start pumping. If 24mm is not your size and you need larger, then you will need to purchase this separately before you start pumping. It did come with some smaller flange inserts. So for mine, this is a 15mm. To use these and reduce your flange tunnel size, you simply push it in. Again, we want to make sure it's nice and firm, nice and flat against our flange. So that is how you use your flange insert with the Medela Motion. Once you are then all set up, your pump is clean, you've got your right flange sizing, we're ready to go. We are going to want to take our pump and have it nice and firm against our breast. We need to align our nipple nice and centrally. My finger's too big for this flange insert. You want to make sure that your nipple is aligned nice and centrally within your flange tunnel, and then securely attach your pump with a pumping bra, making sure it's nice and firm in place. Too loose and you're going to lose that suction. Too firm and it might feel uncomfortable. We just want it nice and firm in place, not glued hard, but also not loose for losing the suction. And then we can turn our pump on. So there are 4 buttons, super easy to use. We have our power button. Now this will turn your pump on. And you'll notice your pump automatically starts, and it will start in your stimulation with your last setting for your suction level. To adjust between your stimulation and your expression mode, we simply have this little button here. So you'll see that the droplets go from being clear to being full. The full ones are your expression mode. Now the difference is here, your stimulation are the shorter suctions for initiating your letdown, and then these expression are the deeper suctions for drawing out your breast milk. So you initially want to run for about 2 minutes on your stimulation and then switch over to your expression. Now, have a play around with what works for your body. Some people require or respond best to multiple letdowns, so they might like 5 minutes on stimulation, 5 minutes on expression, 5 minutes stimulation, 5 minutes expression. Have a try, see what your body responds to. Take a look at some different pumping schedules, try them out and see. The one thing I will say with the motion is you have to switch between these manually. Now to adjust your suction levels, now there are 9 different suction levels. You can simply press the minus to go down a level or the plus to go up. You'll also see the L5, so I'm currently L5. You got the dots along the side too. These numbers here, that is actually your timer, and it will tell you how long you have been pumping for. And this little button here is your battery life. So as you go down the bars, that's showing that you are losing your battery life. So when it's on the last one, that's a good indication to make sure that you have your pump charged. So you run your pumping session. When you are done, you are going to want to lean forward. You don't want to be just ripping this off. We want to lean forward so we don't spill breast milk. Then break the seal with our finger. Again, ripping that off is going to rip your nipple with it and be very uncomfortable. So break the seal, lean forward so we're not losing any breast milk. The thing I love about the motion is it has a base, so you can sit that down while you deal with the other side. And then we're going to want to remove the pump motor. When we are ready, we are going to want to pour the breast milk into a storage container. You cannot store your breast milk in this container. We're going to want to pour it into a milk storage bag or a bottle for use. Once we're done, we are going to simply pull all these parts apart. Your pump motor does not need to come into contact with water. If it gets any splash of milk, just simply wipe it down. If you put this into water, you will ruin your pump. So the only parts that need washing and cleaning are these 3. So wash them in warm, soapy water, and then you can use the boiling method. So place them in a pot with boiling water and boil them for 5 minutes. You can also pop these on the top dishwasher rack for cleaning them, sterilizing. You can also use microwave bags. So there are lots of options. I also recommend that you pop your pump on charge, especially if you see that battery getting low. Is a USB-C. So on the side here, there's this little flap. You lift that up, pop the charger in, place that on charge. It takes about 150 minutes for a full charge. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions on how to use it, please ask and I'll do my very best to answer. Otherwise, happy pumping.